Hey up knife. Esther. Shane, evening brother. Carolina. Alison. Oh well, that's very apt. Knife, normal, as a normal. Steve-O, you're still up, son? Okay, a few more. Kia, Sean, Marsupial Mark, Roy, good evening brother. Laura, Russell, Bob. Sorry I've interrupted your body in the pool, the Michael Barrymore story. I thought it was only on for 50 minutes, or I would have put this back till 11. But I'd already said that I was coming on at 10, so couldn't leave it any longer really, but 11 o'clock's a bit late anyway to come and do a live, so we'll just crack on anyway. If people will watch this or record that or record this and watch that, whatever they want to do. Evening Carrie, Denise, Charlotte. Right guys, I want to talk tonight about your rights again. Your born rights, we've all got them. And the role the government should play in your lives, but is not playing in your lives. Basically, all the government is there for is to provide the protection for its people from outside interference, such as what the EU's tried to do. That's what our government should be protecting us from, not signing us up to it. It's supposed to be there to look after our well-being. In other words, make sure everything, the right deals come in, all this sort of thing. That's what your government is there for. And it's to provide our happiness and make sure we obey the rule of law. That's our laws, basically. And that's basically all the government should be doing. It shouldn't be trying to control us. It shouldn't be trying to enslave us. It should just be there for us, to do what's best for us. That's all the government is there for. And they've got it upon themselves now that we are their slaves and we're going to do as they say, blah, 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 blah. Well, we're not going to do that. Because all men and women are born equal with inalienable rights, ladies and gentlemen. It's very important. Life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. They cannot be bartered with, they cannot be taken away, they cannot be given away, except when you're being punished for breaking the rule of law, which means you'll have violated somebody else's human rights, i.e. you've broke into the house and stole something or whatever, so therefore you lose your inalienable rights because you broke the law. But as long as you don't break the law and you live within the law, your government shouldn't be bothering you. They should be leaving you alone. Liberty. Life is the first one. Life is your main one. The right to life. And what they're doing now with these vaccines, man-made vaccines, they're robbing people of life. They're robbing them of one of the basic inalienable rights, ladies and gentlemen. And we should all be using these rights to stop it. That's all you've got to do. The future is bright. We have inalienable rights. Just use them. It's simple as that, people. Liberty is the second one. The state of being free within a society from oppressive restrictions, i.e. the government, imposed by authority, government again, on one's way of life, behaviour or political views. In other words, you are supposed to be able to live your life the way you want, do what you want as long as it's within the law, and they are not supposed to bother you or get involved in anything that you do, just like we don't get involved with anything that they do. We leave them to their private lives. They're supposed to leave us to our private lives. You're supposed to have private life. I'm going to go into that in a minute. Because these are some of your, they call them civil liberties. Because you're born with these. These are civil liberties. Your basic inalienable rights, ladies and gentlemen. Freedom of expression is the first one. freedom of speech, which is now being taken away. Now, these people can try and take these away, but they can't, because they are there for you. Inalienable means can never be taken away, like I've just said. But they will try every trick in the book, and it's down to us to make sure we get our inalienable rights. Freedom of speech is another one. Freedom of assembly. We're all supposed to be able to assemble and voice our opinions. You're not being allowed to do that anymore. You're getting whacked with batons. So what we should be doing in that instance is writing the name of the lapel, the number on the lapel, not take the police because it's a corporation, but take the police officer to court and do the police officer man on man. That's what you should be doing. And then you should be saying, hey, this has all gone against my inalienable rights. I have an inalienable right to an assembly and to freedom of speech. And once people start doing that, these are finished, because they cannot go against your inalienable rights. It's the law. Well, it's not the law, it's our law. Their laws, their acts and statutes cannot impeach or impose on your civil liberties. They cannot do it. Freedom of press is another one. The freedom of press. If we had freedom of press, everything that's happening in France now would be being reported all around the world. What's happening in America would be reported all around the world. What's happening here would be reported all around the world, and it's not happening because they are not adhering to freedom of press, because we're allowing it to happen. We're allowing these people to get away with these things. If we all stand up for your inalienable rights, there's nothing they can do about it, because they're yours. You own them. They're not given to you by the government. They are given to you, the born rights given to you by the Creator, not by the government. Freedom of religion is another one. Can't stop you whatever religion you want to follow. Freedom of conscience, that's morality and your beliefs. You can believe whatever you want to believe, and you can have whatever morals you want. You can have the morals of an alley cat if you want. Nobody can stop you. It's your inalienable right to do so. What's that say, Mark? Yeah, that's right, Mark. The two involved with what the two involved really with what we're doing to do their job. And their job is just to protect us, to look after us, look after our well-being, make sure we're all happy. And like when people show concerns, I don't know what 5G is about yet. I do believe it could be dangerous, because if you look at the cables going in, they're a lot thicker than what's in there now. So I think that could be changed and upgraded myself. I don't know, I haven't looked into it properly yet. But I certainly, if people have got concerns, it should be listened to. You've got a right to privacy, ladies and gentlemen. A right to privacy. So all these things in your TVs, recording your voices, you know, on the sly, and your, what's the name of it, Alexas, and all this, it's all invasion of privacy. They're not allowed to do it. But they're getting away with it because you've been brainwashed at school. Brainwashed into believing they are supreme. And what they say goes. It doesn't. They are there actually to serve you, not the other way around. You are not their slaves. You are not their property. We're all free human beings. And we're given these rights to make sure we stay that way. And like I said, right to privacy is what it says. So you should be able to go anywhere you want, do anything you want, as long as you're not breaking the law, causing anybody any loss, harm, etc. You should be able to go on your way without being impeded. And that's how it used to be when I was a kid. That's how it used to be. But now, they want to know all your business. Like now, you all know my wife's not in at the moment. But if I want to send my wife some money now, I have to go on the internet. You can't go in the shop anymore. You go on the internet, you type in how much you want to send on your card, and it'll ask you, what's it for? And it'll give you options. Is it family support? Is it this? Is it that? Is it the other? Where's it come from? Is it donations? Is it savings? Is it from your job? This is none of their business, really. It's my business. I've got a right to privacy. So have all you guys. If you send stuff to families in other countries and you send them a bit of money, they want to know where it's coming from, where you've had it from, what's it for. We don't ask them. They don't tell us every month what they've spent and what they've spent it on. When are people going to wake up? They want to know your business, but they don't want to give you an ounce of anything that they're doing. If we should be accountable, so should they. We should be saying, right, let's have a look at what you've been doing with your wages. But it's never reciprocated back. It's always one way. But this is illegal. You've got a right to privacy. But all these things, freedom from torture. Not that many people in this country get tortured at the moment. Well, they are torturing you mentally. Freedom from forced disappearances. In other words, coming and snatching you out your house and taking you somewhere without good reason. They shouldn't be allowed to do all this. You've got rights. You've got a right to equal treatment under the law. But that's not happening, is it? Because our inalienable rights are being ridden over by certain other individuals who are coming from other countries. Their inalienable rights are taking over ours. But that's not right. That's illegal and it's unlawful. Because they're not allowed to do it, guys. But they'll do it because we're allowed to do it. And the pursuit of happiness is the third one. And that is basically, you do whatever you want to do that makes you happy. You know, you get married or you stay single or whatever, but you've got the right to do whatever you want to do as long as it makes you happy. If something's not making you happy, you got a right to freedom of thought. Now they're trying to tell you how to think, what car to buy, it's all MK Ultra. And people need to snap out of it pretty quick because we're going in a bad place. And we've got all these rights, and it astonishes me. We've got all these rights to protect us and we could use against them, and they can't touch us for, and yet nobody wants to use them. It's astonishing, really. I don't know what else to say to you guys, but you've got to start using them. Everybody's got a right to marriage. Now, I don't want to go into detail because everybody knows what I'm going through, but they can't, and I'm fighting it. Trust me. I'm fighting it on my own because I can't get no legal aid, etc., etc. But I didn't get away with it because your inalienable rights to marriage, to a family, to be with your wife. Family should never be separated. He even says that in the Human Rights Act. And yet, these think they can put a price on your inalienable rights through visas, etc., etc. This was unheard of. Even 50 years ago, it was unheard of. If you married somebody from another country and you was happy, they just came over. As long as they're not a burden on your state, which she was never a burden and she never will be, it shouldn't be allowed to happen. But it does. Because these people are tyrannous and corrupt, and they won't ever do the right thing by us, but they'll brainwash us, they'll push us into corners like this chip. everybody pushing around now, they're going to have this chip, this RFDI chip, whatever it is, in your skin. You've seen the thing I've put on my wall today. That's an invasion of privacy. Because once that chip goes in, they can know every single thing about you. Even when you go in the toilet. What you're doing, where you are, what you're buying, what you're doing, who you're with, where you've been. That's not normal. Why do they need to know all these things? Yes, and the funny thing, the ironic thing about it all is, even with all this technology, when they have got somebody on the list and what have you that they're watching, they still let them kill somebody because they say, well, we can't go against their rights until they actually kill somebody. But it's too late then when people have died. So what's the point in all of this covert operations where they need to know where everybody is at a certain time? What's it all for anyway? Because it's not for that reason, is it? Because they would have fetched him off the street the minute they knew he was in a place where there was lots of people, because he would have been a danger. But no, let it happen. So you've got to ask yourselves, it's not for that reason. It goes more sinister than all of that. It goes because they want to know what every single person's doing, how much every single person earns, where you've had it from, what you're doing with it. It's none of their business what you do with your money. You've earned your money, you're going to work, it's hard earned money in the bank. If you want to send somebody some money, you shouldn't have to put what it's for and everything else. It's just ridiculous. But like I said, it's down to the people, it's down to you guys. But you've got the inalienable rights. You've got to start using them. Because it's a way we can fight back. And the future's bright. Because if you start using your inalienable rights, they can't go against them. They can't, for talking's sake. Why do you think they have to go a different way with these chips? What they want to put inside you now. They can't make everybody have them, can they? Because it's against your inalienable rights. So what do? They'll say, oh, well, the company is going over to this system. And unfortunately, you've got to have this chip in if you want to stay working here, because you're going to have to get in the doors and through all the security and that, you're going to need this chip. Otherwise, you know, I'm afraid we're going to have to let you go. Well, people should be saying, ta-da, because they know they can't force it on you, as in, get him having this chip. So they have to do it otherwise. They're very sly. And that's how they're going to bring this chip in. When you work in the Asda or wherever you are, they're going to turn around to you and say, if you want to continue working at Asda, you've got to have this chip because you've got to get in the door, the security door with it. Without this, we're not issuing the normal little cards you've got anymore for the key fobs. That's the new system. You either have that or you ain't going to be employed by Asda or whoever it is anymore. And that's how they're going to get around it. Mark my words. But it's down to everybody to say, well, stuff Asda, stuff Morrison's, and more fool the people that do. Because once you have that chip inside you, you're finished. You can't go anywhere. They can pinpoint you to within 2 feet wherever you are in any country. So you've got no freedom anymore. And people say to me, yeah, but if you've got nothing to hide, it still doesn't make no difference. I've got nothing to hide. But it's the principle of you shouldn't be after them knowing where you are at any given time of any given day to within 2 feet of where you are. It's not right. That's an invasion of your privacy. Exactly, Nash. The government are there to control you. That's what they want to do. And that's what they're pushing for now. But with all these rights, you wouldn't believe that's just a proportion of rights. Go look up your inalienable rights and your liberty. Look up what liberty means. I've just told you, but look it up for yourself and look up the examples of liberty. There's hundreds. Hundreds. And there's lots in with pursuit of happiness. There's lots. What they're stopping you doing. But they're stopping you doing it, guys, because you're allowing it. I had a chat with Nash today, and it's like we said, if you was in the street and you was at the traffic lights and somebody come and dragged you out the car and drove off in it, would you just say, oh, well, I've lost my car, I'll get another one, it don't matter? Or would you fight and phone the police and say, I want my car back? That's all that's happening with your inalienable rights. They're using them against you because you ain't claiming them. So if you ain't claiming them, they'll use them against you. It's like saying to somebody, I don't need this voucher for farm foods or whatever. Yeah, you use it. There'll always be somebody else. If you don't use your rights or whatever, there'll always be somebody else that'll come along and use them. But these people ain't using them for you. They're using them against you. They're stopping your freedom of expression. They're stopping your freedom of speech and the right to an assembly and the freedom of the press. Because we're allowing them to do that. We should be saying to the BBC, you're going against our inalienable rights because you are stopping freedom of the press. You're not reporting accurately. Shut them down. These are the things you should be doing. Start fighting back. Because we can do this. The future is very, very bright for everybody on this planet. Because if you use your inalienable rights en masse together, there's nothing they can do. Because like I said, you're not doing anything illegal. You're just using the rights that you was born with, that you was given when you was born, not by the government, and saying, hang on a minute, that's one of my rights you're taking, and I want it back. You might think you can report on it the way you want, but we all say in this country and every other country that in our inalienable rights, it says we've got freedom of press and you're not giving it us. And these are the ways you're going to get your countries and you're going to get your lives back. Like I said, your right to privacy. Tell them to come in your house and take that thing that's in there, that recording device that's in your smart TV. Take it out. You don't want it in there anymore. Same as your phones. Take them back to the phone shops and say, I want this thing in the back of here that tracks me everywhere. I want it out. It's going against my inalienable rights, my right to privacy. And immediately people start doing that. You watch these people, their attitudes change because they'll shit themselves. Because they know it's coming. They know people are onto them now. They know a lot more people are waking up to what's really going on and to what they're doing to us. They've stolen all our rights and that off us and are using them against us. And on top of all that, we've got our constitution. We're in a win-win situation. Because when you go into a court and you put a judge on his oath and say, right, are we all equal, all men and women born equal with inalienable rights or not? He's going to have to say yes. So, what are them inalienable rights? And when you say, well, this is one, this is one, this is one, or is it not? The judge is going to have to say yes. And then when you say, well, why are these being broken? Why are these being used against me when they're mine? Simple as. I'm quite happy at the moment because this is what's going to save us. Your constitution is a solution along with your inalienable rights. And it's that simple, guys. It really, really is that simple. Because they can't take them off you. They can bring acts and statutes in above everything else and say, well, we've changed our act to this. And they can do that because them are man-made. These rights are not man-made. They're your born rights, what everybody's born with. They're not given to you by anybody in government. They're given to you by the Creator. That's what you're there. That's what's there. Go, like I said, don't take my word for it. Go and look up your inalienable rights and look what they are. And you will see. It's to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. There's more, but them are the main three. But the one to life already, you've seen what's happening in China. So they're having their liberties, they're having their inalienable rights took off them as we speak. Because they've got a right to life. They've got no reason. They've got no authority. They're not God. These have got no authority to depopulate the world because they feel it's the right thing to do because there's too many people. They've not got the right to do it. But they have, as long as we just sit back and do nothing, sit here like cattle waiting to be slaughtered. I say the future's very bright. I say we must start rejoicing, start using these laws and these rights that we've got against these people. And you watch how many judges run out the back of the court when this is all presented in front of them. When they sit there and they think, oh, nice easy court case today, and then you go in there with the Constitution and your inalienable rights and say, I don't think so. Are you on your oath today, or are you on your corporate oath? And you watch the judge. He'll do one of two things. If he's a decent judge, he'll sit there and say, well, I'm on my public oath, I'm on the oath to the Queen, and they'll sit and they'll deal the case properly. Or if he's a corporate bet judge, he'll do one out the back, like they all do, when presented with the evidence like this. Because they can't argue with this evidence, you see, because this evidence is there for us. It's to protect us, not the corporates. And that's why when you take these people to court, you don't take the West Midlands Police or Northumberland Police or whatever to court, because they're a corporation. You take the individual. Same as a school. You never take a school to court if they've wronged you. You take the individual, the headmaster or whatever, because all these things are corporations. And you can't take a corporate building or corporate entity to court. You can only take another man or woman to court. And the sooner you learn that, the better. It's that simple. Yeah, that's correct, Nathan. Only you can enact your rights, the court, etc. aim not to do it for you. They ain't going to give you jurisdiction. They're going to try and take jurisdiction away from you. But when you've got all this in front of you and you're giving their confidence, they don't know what to do. It throws a spanner in the works. It's like they've just been hit with a taser. Because you see, when you go into a court, a judge will use the same rhetoric for different cases. He'll come out with the same rhetoric. It's like an actor singing a song. For different things, he'll come out, same rhetoric for different cases. But when you go in there and he goes, right, Martin, you go, excuse me, Your Honour, are you on your oath today? Straight away, he's thinking, shit, what's going on here? But you've still got to do it right. You've got to have all the right evidence, and it's got to be going against your inalienable rights and that in the first place. But the majority of the things they're doing now are. It's only common sense. The law, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, the law is simple. It's common sense. All you need to do is look up the law. Look up your inalienable rights. If your inalienable right says you've got the right to privacy, so you tell somebody to get out your house or whatever, you're not broken any laws. So if they try to take you to court for that sort of thing, for instance, they ain't going to win, because you've got a right to privacy in your inalienable rights. As long as you don't beat the shit out of them and throw them out your house. Because then you're breaking the law, because you've assaulted somebody. But you're quite entitled within your rights to not let somebody in, or to ask somebody to leave, if they're invading your privacy. Just the same as you have the right with your morals and your beliefs. You can believe what you want to. If you want to believe a door's black but it's red, that's your prerogative. It's simple. So look at that. Yeah. But it's basically, are you on your oath to the Queen today, or are you here in a corporate capacity? Or, well, I don't even call them, Your Honour. I don't even give them that thing. I'll just say, when they'll say, all rise, I'll stay seated, and then the first thing I'll say, first of all, are you here on your oath of office, or are you here in a corporate capacity? And they hate it. And Nathan will tell you, we've had judges go out and come back 3 times because they ain't getting their own way, because we won't stand up for them. They bang the gavel down and walk off. Then they'll come back 10 minutes later and they try again. All rise. Not till he tells you he's on his oath. Because the minute you rise, you are giving over jurisdiction. You need to know what jurisdiction he's under. And the minute you stand up, you're giving into the corporate side. Every time. So you need to find out before anything happens in a courtroom, whose side the judge is on. Because the majority of the time he's not on yours. People are waking up now. And like Nash says, it is what it is. We've let them get away with it. We've got to let that go by the by now. There's nothing we can do about the past. The past is gone. You've let them get away with it, and that's the end of it. There's nothing you can do about that. But what you can do now, guys, is start repairing the damage. You can start using your inalienable rights. You can start using the Constitution, and you can start going against these people who want to suppress you, who want to oppress you, who want to enslave you, and who want to and who want to control your every movements. Because they've not got the right to do that. Exactly, Steve. Procedure. They use magic words, ladies and gentlemen. There's no procedure. You ask them what oath they're standing on. Are they standing on the oath to the Queen? Our oath, what they took for us, or whether they're on the corporate oath. Because I don't know how many times I've said this now, but all the courts in this country are not even got any jurisdiction here, ladies and gentlemen. They're all registered in Australia and America. They've not even got the jurisdiction here. They're all rented for the day, majority of them. The magistrates' courts, etc. They're rented out for the day. The corporates rent them out. And the judges are actors. Well, that's it, David. They don't have any rights to come and kick people's doors off at 4 in the morning. You've got a right to privacy. You've got a right. They can't just do whatever they like. Freedom of thought, freedom of speech, freedom of assembly. If you've been somewhere, they can't just come and kick your door in because you've been somewhere. You've got a right to privacy. It's against the law, actually. They've got to have good reason. And just to say, oh, well, we thought, is not good enough. But as long as people keep allowing them, and this is what I say, but when that happens, people think there's nothing they can do. But there is. You have the names of the badges of the police, and you take them to court as a person, man to man, not the corporate entity they work for, because you're never going to beat the corporate entity. Well, you can't, because you can't technically take a corporation to court. You have to take the man. And then you watch them. When you start taking the police individually and other people, doctors, etc., instead of the NHS, you take the doctor to court. Because he knows right from wrong. See, a corporate entity, it's just, that's what it is. It's a corporate entity. It doesn't know right from wrong because it doesn't exist as a living thing. So what you have to do is take the person, because then you can hold another person, another man, woman, responsible for their actions, because they know right from wrong. And when people start learning the right way to go about things, these people won't be doing this anymore. Because when they kick your door in at 4 o'clock in the morning and you take them police to court because they've got no... Don't get me wrong, if they kicked somebody's doors in and they found a load of drugs in there because they've had a tip-off, that's different. Because they say, well, we had a tip-off, blah, 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 and they've took or stolen goods. We heard these people have been robbing houses and all the goods is in the house. Then they've got lawful reason to enter your house. But if they've just bust in for nothing and you've got nothing in there, any way, shape or form, then when you start taking them to court and claiming damages, you know, you want your door put right, you want this put right, the trauma they've put you through, compensation for the trauma, they'll be less likely to want to kick the next person's door in at 4 o'clock in the morning. But the trouble is, we're not doing that. People are not doing that. They're too scared. But like Nash said earlier, you've got to lose the fear. It's only fear. We come on and say. We come on and explain everything. If we was frightened, like majority of people, nobody would know nothing. Because everybody, but you've got to lose that fear, because I know I'm only informing you of your inalienable rights. I'm doing nothing illegal, I'm doing nothing unlawful, I'm doing nothing wrong. So I ain't in the slightest a bit worried about what, if come and kick my door in, because I will do all them things, I will do them. Individuals. And they'll pay for all the damage that they've done, because I ain't doing anything wrong. I'm entitled to free speech, free expression. I'm entitled to free press. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you your inalienable rights. And when you lose the fear and start spreading this out and telling other people, this is when they lose control. Because it's only fear that keeps people the way they are. Listen guys, 4 years ago, you all know when I did my first video 4 years ago, I was like this, shaking like a leaf, because I was frightened, I didn't know. But now I know it all, I don't care. Come and lift me tomorrow. They ain't going to do much with me because I haven't done anything wrong. All I've done is tell the truth and alerted you to your rights, like any solicitor should. But they don't, do they? When you go in, and this is how you know it's all rigged when you go to court. When you go to court, a lot of these things you're getting done for, the solicitor should be saying to you, well, hang on a minute, you've got inalienable rights. Why did they pick you up? Well, they just dragged me off the streets. Well, no, you've got a right to privacy. They've got to have good reason. So that's how you know the whole lot, all the judges, all the courts, all corrupt, and only us, the people, are going to reverse that. But like I said, the news is really good news. It's promising, it's uplifting, because we've all got these rights. And if we all get together and use them together, we are unstoppable. They're going about, oh, you can't stop them. No, you can stop whatever you want. Look, we've just got Brexit. Name only, but we've got it. Now it's down to us to make sure Boris does what he says. Using all these inalienable rights. Are you getting it now? You've got to use all these against him. And as a collective people, 17.4 million, we've all got to go to Boris and say, look, our inalienable rights are being roughshod over. And we ain't having it anymore. We want our rights back. We want you to do this like you should be, like a government should be, to provide protection for the people from outside interference. That's what the EU is. And we don't want that outside interference. So the government should be on our side, ladies and gentlemen. Not fighting against you. That's how you know you're in tyranny and corruption. And that's why you can go into Article 61, lawful rebellion, and do something about it. But at the same time, you can use all these inalienable rights, what you've got, and you can fight them on a two-pronged attack with your constitution and the law, and also with your inalienable rights. And we will show you how to do it. We are showing you how to do it. All you've got to do is lose the fear. Because once you lose the fear and you start speaking out and you know you can do it and there's nothing that can ditch you. Don't get me wrong, when you say freedom of speech, you can't go effing and blinding and calling people black so-and-sos and what have you. When I say freedom of speech, I mean you're entitled to express your opinions about things in the right manner. But as long as you do it in the right manner, they can't touch you for having freedom of speech. But at the same time, we can use it against them. We can tell Boris now, like I said, he's supposed to be there to look after our well-being and happiness. That's what he's there for. But there's not many people happy at the moment, is there? And our well-being, with everything they're spraying the skies with, and all this shit in China, where they're saying, everybody's got to get out of China, you've got to go back to your own countries. They shouldn't be allowed back in the country. They should be taken somewhere else first and quarantined. Because it's wrong to allow them people straight back in when there's a 2 or 3 week incubation period. And these people know this. They're not on your side, guys. And the sooner people wake up, start using these inalienable rights against them, the clues in all the words: freedom of expression, freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, freedom of press, freedom of religion, right to privacy. They're your rights, not theirs. They're ours. Every single one of us. So, get more upbeat. Stop dropping your head on your shoulders. Stand up straight, take a deep breath, have a good old smile, because this is what's going to beat these people. If we all stand together as one and use it. You can't just leave it to the odd few. Having said that, I'm fighting my case and I'm going to win my case. So you can win cases. I'm on about when you're taking the government on. With individual cases, you don't need masses of people. But when you're taking the government on like this, we've all collectively got to use our inalienable rights to say, this is wrong. You're saying we've got to be more multicultural. We've got to be more diverse. More this, more that. Well, hang on a minute. What about our inalienable rights? What about our laws? Why are our laws being subverted for their laws? Because the other way around, it won't happen, ladies and gentlemen. It's never going to happen the other way around, trust me. Brits will never get inalienable rights over Saudi Arabians in Saudi Arabia. They'll never get inalienable rights over Iranians in Iran. It's never going to happen in Kuwait. Never. Anywhere else in the world, these countries will put their inalienable rights above ours because they've got them. They're not causing you any harm. They're not attacking anybody. They're just saying, sorry, we can't get involved in that because that's going to bring us problems. We're going to start harming our people. And we've got a right, a duty of care to our people. So I'm sorry, we can't have rapists etc. People who are going to blow us up, potentially, in our country. We can't have it, because we're putting our own children and our own people at risk. This is what you've got to start using against them. We've all got these inalienable rights. We've got to use them to our advantage. I'll have to read these after, guys, so I can't read them without my glasses. Only the little ones. Exactly, Leslie. They're starting to try to destroy and demoralise the domestic family unit. And that's why it's being done. But, like I said, there's an old saying, you reap what you sow. And that's what's going to happen, guys. We'll reap what we sow. If we sit back and we just keep taking it on the chin like a boxer in the corner, eventually you're going to be knocked out, and that's it, you're out the game, you're going to have to give in. But if you fight back, like I've said with all this stuff, we can do it, guys. We can do it. We can make a big dent. Let's start it with Boris. Let's all start using our inalienable rights against Boris. All start bombarding your councillors, your local councillors, and say, listen, I've got to run my rights to inalienable rights and my family's, and you're putting my family's inalienable rights in danger. And it tells you, as long as you've all got the right to happiness, pursuit of happiness, unless you're putting other people's rights, inalienable rights, in danger. And that's it. You wouldn't let a murderer, and no murderer who can't help himself as a mass murderer, back out in the community. Just wouldn't do. Well, I hope they ain't doing it, but we never know this day and age, do you? But they shouldn't be, because it's putting the community in danger, just like everything they're doing with the migrants is putting us in danger. So please, guys, just look up your inalienable rights. You've got more than you think. They're more powerful than you think. And let's just start using them against this tyrannous, corrupt evil, because in that parliament, who want to take this country down and replace us with somebody else. Seriously. Well, now how will they be able to work, Mark? Because they've still got to do the job they're doing, but they've just got to do it right. In other words, instead of the police being corrupt, and instead of the councillors being corrupt in the parliament, they're going to have to do the job properly and work for us like they should be doing. They'll still be employed. But instead of being tyrannous and corrupt, they'll be doing the right thing for the people. It's like you, if you're at work and people are offering you bribes for talking sake at work, you've got two choices. You can do the right thing, or you can become corrupt and tyrannous. But you'll still have that job either way. It's down to your morals. Whether you want to be a decent person and do the right thing, or you're going to accept bribes and what have you and shit on the people. But you'll still have that same job. And this is what we've got to start doing. We've got to start putting these people back in the right places, put them back in the boxes they should be. We're letting them just ride roughshod over us for no reason. Because we've never asked for none of this. We're just go to work, do our thing. We just want to be left alone to live a nice, quiet life, go to work, enjoy your life with your family, don't have your privacy and everything intrusive upon. And then everybody's happy, but these are not allowing it. These just want to enslave you all more and more and more. And control you more and more. Oh yeah, they want to know where Mark is, they want to know where Gary is, they want to know where Nash is, Nathan. They want to know where, we want to know where them four are every minute of every day. But if you're not a threat, Listen, I understand. If they think somebody's a threat, they've got to watch them. I get it, 100%. But 98% of the people are just normal people who want to get on with life, and they don't need all this shit. You've already got cameras on every corner. How much more invasion of privacy do you want? You can't go down any town centre now without being able to be tracked from the minute you get there, every shop you're in, the minute you get in your car and drive back home. How much more invasion of privacy do people want? They'll be wanting to come in. Well, they've already got them in your home. Like I said, in your smart TVs and that, they've got cameras. That's what smart means. They've got cameras, recording devices in your TVs, even if it's switched off. You've got to start being very aware of what's going on with these people. The nasty, horrible, vile people. And they ain't going to stop till they get what they want unless we stop them. And we can do it. And I think we will do it. But you just got to believe. Believe in yourself. Believe in your constitution. And believe in your inalienable rights, guys. And start being more upbeat about things. Because we can do this. These people are no better than us. They're only equal. They're no better. It's just we've allowed them to think they are. But now we've got to start fighting back. But anyway, I've rattled on enough. I've been on nearly an hour. I don't want to take that much of your time. I'm sorry. I hope you've took it in and you start going and doing your research on your inalienable rights. And you'll see you have many, even though they try and take them away from you. But they can't ever do that. Only if you allow it. You know, anybody can take anybody off anything. Somebody can come and take this watch off me and walk off down the street and it's gone if I allow them to do it. But if I say, hey, that's my watch, thank you very much, chances are he's going to have to give me back, or he will give me back another way. But what I'm saying is, that's how simple it is. All you've got to do, that all your rights, all you've got to do is say, thank you very much, them are mine. I want them back. Simple as, guys. But anyway, I'll speak to you later. Have a good weekend if I don't see you before. Try and get on with Nathan when he's a bit better. And do another one on YouTube or on here if I can get him on. Because you heard him, as soon as you come on, he went, oh great, no green button. And that's what they do. They don't want people on who are going to talk together because he might say something I've missed out and vice versa. So they don't want you people talking because you're going to get everything out in one day and they don't like it. They don't like the truth, guys. So always remember that. The truth will always out because the truth will always come to the surface. No matter how much they try and disguise it, how much they try and shit all over us, the truth will always prevail. So, stay safe, guys. Have a great weekend. Here's my hand, here's my heart. I love every single one of you. Stay safe and do research because we can do this, guys. No surrender, ever, to these tyrannous, corrupt people in that parliament. People power is going to get your countries back. Not just here, around the world, guys. Stay safe.